This isn't just football. It's purpose. It's power. Learning about the people who execute the mission and represent more than just themselves. Behind every jersey is a story. Behind every whistle, a mission. Led by the coaches. Coach Wilson, Wakefield. First and Goal 365 brings you the Legacy and Leadership Series every Monday at 7:00 p.m.
How you doing? My name is Coach Blocker, and I am here with the First and Goal 365 podcast, the #1 podcast for player development both on and off the field. But as I said last week from our last interview, these are special interviews that we have lined up because this is for the First and Goal 365 Jamboree in the Bull City, which I was told today to call it the Bull City Classic. So we're going to work with that. We might end up just calling it the Bull City Classic because one of the coaches from Durham said it should be called the Bull City Classic. But just so everybody understands the run of the show, it's a little bit different. One of our main sponsors, the Marines, the United States Marines, we're going to be talking with a recruiter that's either specifically recruiting a school or the area. And the reason why is because my goal is to make sure student athletes know every single option that they have available to them to be able to make the proper choice once they graduate. Because everybody knows that it's a dream to play college football and to move on, but it doesn't always happen for everyone. And to make sure you have your plan B set is a big thing. It's a big deal. So not trying to shoot down anybody's dreams, just provide options so that you have every single pathway covered when it's time for you to graduate. So today, I have Staff Sergeant Sutphin, correct?
Yep, Sutphin. That's
okay.
Right.
I have Staff Sergeant Sutphin with me today, and he's going to talk about first where he's from, the areas that he recruits, and then we're just going to get into a little bit of why you became a Marine. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, cool. So let's first start out with where your area is, what your focus is, and then why you became a Marine.
Okay, so I'm out of the Raleigh office, and it's on Plantation Center Drive, over by like LA Fitness. We have another office that I'm technically working in and out of up in Wake Forest.
Okay.
So the areas that I recruit out of is going to be pretty much north of 540 up to Youngsville.
Okay.
So
okay.
my schools that are assigned to me are going to be Wakefield,
Okay.
Wake Forest, Franklin Academy, North Wake College and Career Academy, and Wake Prep.
Okay, cool. So you don't mind us just jumping straight into this interview and really getting into the meat and potatoes of it. Okay, great. Yeah. So what part of your journey in the Marines has challenged you the most, and how did you grow from it, and what did you learn?
What challenged me the most?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's going to be really just, I would say, being away from my family.
Okay.
At first, it wasn't that bad because my parents, whatever, I was ready to move out, being 18 years old. I was like, let's get out of here. I'm ready to get on with my life. But now that I'm married, I got 2 kids.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's when that challenge really started, being away from my wife and kids. It's even here in recruiting, right? I'm not in a deployable billet. I'm not leaving the country or going anywhere, but it's long days.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll leave the house before my kids wake up, and I'll get home after they go to bed.
Okay.
And that's pretty hard sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It is. So even though that is something that's extremely hard, how does it feel knowing, though, when you're walking out that door that you're actually doing a job that is greater than yourself? You're representing this country and, of course, your family, but your job is to serve this country. How does that make you feel? How did that make you feel when you finally got a chance to just say, I'm out of boot camp and I'm a Marine? How did that make you feel?
Oh, man, that was euphoric. When you finish boot camp, there's an EGA ceremony. So you're standing there after you've done all the hard stuff, and your drill instructors come by and they hand everybody your EGA, they shake your hand, and they say, congratulations, Marine.
Okay.
It's the first time you've been called a Marine.
Yeah.
It's pretty emotional for most people.
I bet.
Right, because you've made it through everything, and nobody can take that title from you.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned, moving out at 18, and that's when the decision was made, I'm going to become a Marine. But what would you say to your 17-year-old self now, knowing what you know about being a Marine? Like, I'm not saying would you talk yourself out, but what pep talk would you give yourself knowing what you know now to the 17-year-old you?
Don't let any opportunities go.
Okay.
There's a couple things I wish I would have done. I could have gone special forces route early on. I decided not to. And then once it got time to to where I was like thinking about it. My family had come about, and I wasn't gonna get my family for that. But as a younger man, as a younger Marine, that's something that I kind of regret. Just not going after that right away.
Okay. So then, what surprised you the most about becoming a Marine? So then, you get out of boot camp, and now you're a Marine. You've done the hard work to now, be able to have your uniform on and say, "I've done it." What surprised you the most about the journey, and then about yourself?
About myself, it's really the limits. There was things that like I didn't know I could do. Really, I remember in ITB. So I'm an infantryman by trade.
Okay.
And ITB is infantry training battalion. It's what comes after boot camp.
Okay.
That's when you actually get your job. And the culminating event of that is a hike.
Okay.
And I did a 27-mile hike with 135 pounds of gear. Fresh out of high school, I weighed 135 pounds.
Okay.
And that was kind of just like.
So you didn't put on some muscle too.
Yeah. That's probably one of the hardest things I've done, but it really showed me like when you think you're done, you're really not.
Okay.
Where that gas tank actually is.
So what keeps you showing up every day? Like it's not an easy job, and so what keeps you showing up every day and going 110%?
It's being able to actually see the impact you've made on people's lives. Okay. Like individually, you see these kids that you're like, man, you're in a bad spot. I'm not sure if you're gonna make it or not. You have no discipline. Like you need to get your life together. Okay. And being able to help guide them through that journey of getting into the Marine Corps. Right. And seeing that positive change. And they come back from boot camp just a completely different person. Yeah. Like ready to be an adult. They got their stuff together. And like you've actually made a difference and a change in the community. Yeah.
And with that question, I would like to. It wasn't one of the ones that we discussed, but if we can take the parallels of recruiting for football and then also recruiting for the Marines. Football, a coach will come in and they kind of have the prototype of what they're looking for. When you are recruiting a student, what do you see in a student that says you can be a Marine if they don't even see it in themselves?
Somebody who's motivated to change themselves. Somebody who wants to do better. Okay. There's no mold for a Marine, right? My job is not to necessarily gatekeep. Okay. We have standards in place, and that's the extent of the gatekeeping. My goal is to get people in the Marine Corps, and when they say they want to be Marines, that's where we step in. We take them through the whole process. If they're not physically ready, we get them physically ready, even as recruiters, before they even go to boot camp.
Okay. What about the guy that is scared about that? Like, let's say it's an athlete who he never passed his mile-and-a-half run that he had, in the summer. And that's one of his concerns. What would you tell him? Or even somebody like myself, like I can't swim. I would be terrified knowing that I have to have that as a part of a test. How do you work with students that have these, hang-ups that they don't know they can push past their limit?
Okay. As a recruiter, we take, I would say, extreme ownership of that. So I've got a young man right now who's not anywhere close to passing a mile and a half. But what we do is every weekday, we meet 6 o'clock in the morning, and we go for a run. Okay. And we're just slowly getting him to where he needs to be. Okay. If you can't swim, same thing in boot camp. Okay. I'm not allowed to get people around the water, but in boot camp, they're going to teach you how to swim. Okay. So wherever your deficiency is, there's somebody who's going to help guide you.
So then even as a recruiter, you're working with the guys now before they even head out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome.
We have something called the delayed entry program. We get people qualified mentally, morally, and physically for the Marine Corps. Okay. And then we essentially become their mentor until they leave for boot camp. Okay. And that can be up to a year after they enlist. We get them to pick their job and pretty much just stay motivated and get ready for boot camp.
Okay. So what does serving your country mean to you? And what is that feeling? People say it and then you'll hear an answer that, may sound like it's a generic answer, and I the reason why I said what's the feeling is because that's what the youth gravitates to. Like I would like to hear and like you to explain, like, what does it feel like to serve your country and to be a Marine?
Okay. It feels good. Like at the root of it, it feels good. Yeah. And you really don't experience how good it feels until you leave the United States and you go somewhere that's not as good. Okay. People think like, I don't want to serve my country. America's not that great or whatever. They have these feelings about it that have never actually gone out and gone somewhere or a place that doesn't have as many opportunities as the United States. We are truly a cut above the rest. And if you've been somewhere like for example, I went to Djibouti, Africa. That place is extremely poor. Right? They're out there living in tin shacks. People will steal everything you have
Right.
as soon as you look away.
Right.
And that really made me thankful for what I have here, and kind of understand more of who we are as a country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned like just the travel aspect of it, because we had spoken about that with Staff Sergeant Hoffman about just the different places she had seen by the age of 25, 26. And I would like to do the same thing with you. How many places have you, well, first of all, how old are you?
Okay, I'm 26.
26. And so how many places have you even gotten the opportunity to see? How many other countries have you been? Where have you been?
Okay, so I'll go in order. So at 18 years old was my first deployment. I've been in the Marine Corps for about 6 months, well, actually, about 8 months. So not a whole lot of time.
Okay.
We went on what's called a MU, a Marine Expeditionary Unit.
Okay.
So I got on a ship. We went straight across the Atlantic, through the Strait of Gibraltar into the Mediterranean. We went straight to Israel.
Okay.
Spent 2 weeks in Israel, trained with IDF. Got a little bit of liberty there. Got to go out in town and do some stuff.
Okay.
We got back on ship and we went to Cyprus. Spent a little bit of time there, like 3 or 4 days. We went through the Suez, down into the Red Sea, and to Aqaba, Jordan. We went to Aqaba probably 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
And then we went south down to Djibouti.
All right.
And then around the Persian Gulf up to Bahrain. And then we came back through everything. And on the way back, we got to do like some sightseeing, got some tours like
I was going to
Petra.
ask that because, you know, a lot of young men might not understand, or young people, I won't even say men, young people don't understand that you do get an opportunity to actually see some sights and some downtime where you can actually enjoy that.
Yeah, we had guided trips through all kinds of stuff. So we had a guided trip through the Dead Sea, got to go swim in the Dead Sea.
Okay.
Guided trip through Jerusalem, got to go see all the holy relics and everything.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We got back on ship though from Jordan. Came over to Spain. Spent like 3 days in Spain on the beach there hanging out. They had a fixed part of the ship.
All right.
And then we came home, and that was the end of my first deployment.
Okay.
So
How many times have you been deployed?
I've been deployed twice.
Okay.
Second deployment, I went to northern Norway, up in the Arctic Circle.
Okay.
That was during COVID.
Okay.
So I spent 8 months up there,
All right.
and a month in Sweden.
How was that?
That was awesome.
Okay.
That was great.
Was it cold?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there from October to April.
Okay.
But that was awesome.
Okay.
It was almost like working a 9 to 5.
Really?
So we were on a military base there. We would work the day, and then you could walk out the gate into town at night and go do your own thing, go meet the locals. And, Yeah.
Cool. So, what does leadership mean to you personally, and what does leadership mean to you as a Marine? So personally, what does that mean? And then tell us, like, as a Marine, that's a little bit different. So, like the civilian, when you take your clothes off and you put on just normal shorts and shirt, what's leadership? And then also, what is it as a Marine?
I think leadership at the end of the day is just being able to inspire people. Whatever they want to do in life to make them successful, or whatever needs to get done, being able to actually cause people to take initiative.
Okay.
That's kind of how I see leadership.
Okay.
And then in the Marine Corps, on the other side of that, for me, I would say it's being the change that you wish to see. So, little story here. My first squad leader was terrible.
Okay.
I couldn't stand the guy, but the way the Marine Corps works, people move pretty quick. So I kind of made like a vow to never be like that guy. Leave the bad and keep the good.
Yeah.
And that's again part of the reason I've stayed in the Marine Corps is to be the change that I wish to see.
Okay. Awesome. So can you share like a core value that you've learned from the Marines that has stuck with you and sticks with you even when you are in your civilian clothes? Like just one of all the different values that you've learned, what's one that just stays with you no matter what?
I'd have to say it's commitment.
Okay.
Being committed to myself, to my goals, committed to my family.
Good. Now, what do you wish more people understood about being a Marine? What are some misconceptions that you hear and you're like, that's not true, man? Like, what are some things that you would like to debunk just about the whole experience of becoming a Marine and then being a Marine after?
Okay. Not every job that we have is oriented toward combat.
Okay.
Right? Something we do is we talk to all the parents in the area. I talk to all the parents at Wakefield, Wake Forest, all the students as many as I can. And a lot of people think that every job is some kind of combat related job.
Okay.
But we have everything from police officers to electricians to cybersecurity. The way I like to describe it is if you can find it in a civilian population, right? You can find it in the Marine Corps. Everything short of medical.
Okay. And we had discussed before coming on air about some of the athletic opportunities that are in the Marines that people really probably don't even talk about a lot, because of course you see collegiately, you see the Army, Navy game, things like that. And we discussed that there's not specifically football, but there are other sports that you can participate in.
Yes, sir, there is. So there's, I couldn't name them off the top of my head, but I know there's basketball, running, soccer, and a couple more. But it's a very high level. A lot of guys that enlist in the Marine Corps will be like a D1 athlete, will say like basketball, and then end up playing for like the Marine Corps team. And what they do is they go and play like Army, Navy teams, Air Force, or even international. So a foreign military or a foreign country in general might put together a professional team. The Marine Corps basketball team will go and represent and play.
So what brings you joy outside of the Marine? So I'm looking at you, you're in your uniform, and of course putting on your uniform comes with a certain demeanor. No different than athletics. Once you put that uniform on, we're in this mindset. But once you take your uniform off and you're with your kids and everything, how do you kick back, chill? What are some things that you like to do?
I would say that's most of it. Just being at home, right? So when I got time off, it's time off. It's time to put everything away. I turn my Go phone off, and I'm at home 100% with my kids. So just doing things with them, going to a playground or water park. That's really it. But I'd say in the colder months, something I've gotten into since I moved back from being in California is I got into hunting a little bit.
Oh, really?
So yeah, on the weekends I'll go out. There's some places like pretty much in the city here in Raleigh. Started bow hunting.
Oh, okay. All right. So if people remember one thing about you from this conversation, what would you want that to be?
That as a Marine Corps recruiter, we're normal people. You can approach us and have a regular conversation. You don't have to be intimidated by us. A lot of us have other things going on rather than just Marine Corps. And we're able to speak as a person and not just the Marine. Okay.
And then, and my final question, and we'll get you out of here because you've done a tremendous job. I want to thank you for everything that you've done. How do you handle recruiting parents? Like, I always like to give the different parallels that recruiting for the armed services and also recruiting for athletics is similar. And you have parents that disagree with a child's decision. And you have to come into a home and actually talk to mom and dad possibly as well too. So how do you handle recruiting mom and dad a little bit to ease their nerves about their son or daughter leaving to become a Marine?
Okay. Well, first off, it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's the kid's decision. Whether they're 17 or 18 or 25, like it's all on them. And we try not to pressure anybody any kind of way. And the other side of that is you can't lie to anybody today. I want to make sure that parents know that we're 100% upfront. Google exists, right? No matter if we tell somebody something that's not true, it's easy to find. So I feel like that eases parents a lot, is telling them the truth up front, making sure that they know that as a recruiter, I'm not just out to get somebody.
Okay, good. So tell the people that may view this, because you never know, it may be something local, it may be something national, so we'll deal with local first. Tell the people how they can get in contact with you or in contact with somebody if they're interested in the Marines. Okay.
So I've got an office on Ligon Mill Road. Okay. So it's 10425 Ligon Mill. Okay. My phone number, am I good to share that?
Yeah.
Okay. My phone number is 919-721-1407. That's my government phone. You can text me and call me. That's a cell phone. It's always with me.
Gotcha.
And then my Instagram.
Okay.
So I don't remember my handle off the top of my head.
That's all right. And then if somebody's looking at this and they're on a national level, say somebody from another state gets a hold of this, how would they navigate to get their interest addressed?
Okay. They can either look up Marines recruiting and then whatever city they're in, or they can go to marines.com. Okay. On marines.com, there's a form you can fill out to request information, and that comes straight to whatever recruiter works your area the next day. And they'll be in contact pretty quick.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. First of all, I want to thank you for your service. I appreciate everything that you do, and I definitely thank you for being here for the First and Goal 365 podcast.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate being here.
No problem. Yeah. And we'll be right up next with Coach Wilson from Wakefield High School, so please stay locked in. And we got more First and Goal 365 podcasts to come. You don't want to miss this interview.
For a place, a people, an idea, for right and freedom, for liberty and justice for all. For every square inch between fruited plains and spacious skies. Marines fight to win. See all the battles Marines fight to win at Marines.com.